Hi, Rashid here from academicplagiarism.com and welcome to our tutorial on quoting, summarizing, and paraphrasing. By the end of this tutorial, you will learn the difference between quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, and how to effectively avoid plagiarism through efficient paraphrasing and summarizing strategies. There are three ways to incorporate the ideas of others in your writing. We do so by quoting directly, by paraphrasing, or summarizing. But why is it important to master the skills of quoting, summarizing, and paraphrasing? It's important because these three skills are powerful academic tools that help you engage in intellectual conversation as you synthesize and disseminate complex ideas. More specifically, you quote, summarize, and paraphrase to support or challenge an argument, to build a new argument, to share new information, to give examples, to demonstrate the breadth of your knowledge about a given topic, and of course to avoid plagiarism. When quoting directly, we present the original words and ideas verbatim. In this example, we have the same quote presented in three different citation styles: MLA, APA, and Chicago. As you can see, in all three examples, the original text is presented in its original form and placed between two quotation marks. In both MLA and APA, our quote is immediately followed by an in-text citation. Chicago style only requires a superscript number that corresponds to an entry in the references page. Let's start with paraphrasing. When we paraphrase, we restate key points from the original source in our own voice. In order to paraphrase correctly, we need to make sure that we use somewhat original vocabulary. You cannot change all the words in the original source, but try to change the words and vocabulary that you can actually change. Number two, make sure you modify the structure and not copy the same exact structure of the original source. And number three, make sure you do your in-text citation if you're using the MLA or APA format. So let's take a look at this example. Here we have a passage from the book on architecture by Ada Louise Huxtable. In this example, I have highlighted four key ideas that I would like to include in my paraphrase. So as I said earlier, since I'm paraphrasing, I'm including the details. So let's take a look here. I have color-coded these already, so let's start with the first one. In this era, Europe, not America, points the way, so that's the first one. The second key idea is European architects have been concentrating on frontiers of design on the community and environmental scale. The third one is, in close-up, their work may frequently be less attractive and imaginative than US counterparts, but they are not evading the basic issues. And the last one is, these must be dealt with if architecture is to remain the most vital and meaningful art of our time. So in my paraphrase, I have taken all these four ideas and I have restated them in my own voice, and I made sure I change as much vocabulary as I can. Again, you cannot change proper nouns, you cannot change technical words, but as you can see, I have made quite a few changes to the original vocabulary. The other thing I have done is I have modified somehow the structure, and I'm not following the same punctuation format here. And the last thing I did is, of course, I have included an in-text citation, and I'm using the APA form here. So let's take a look at my paraphrase, which is, unlike American architects, European architects have prioritized function over aesthetics. As a result, they have led the way on issues relating to urban and community design, which according to Huxtable is a critical step to maintain the artistic values of modern architecture. Now let's take a look at summarizing. When we summarize, we state the main idea from the original source in our own voice. So unlike paraphrasing, I will not be including all the details. On the other hand, I'm just going to pick what to me is the most important idea and try to express it in the form of a summary. And just like the paraphrase, I need to make sure I use unique original vocabulary. I need to modify the original structure, and I need to make sure I cite after my paraphrase, my summary, to make sure I don't plagiarize. So here is the same passage again from On Architecture by Ada Louise Huxtable, and here's my summary. European architects have led the way on issues relating to urban and community design as they prioritize function over aesthetics. And my in-text citation is following immediately after the summary. So as you can see here, when you looking back at the difference between the, the paraphrase and the summary, you can clearly see that the summary is significantly smaller and much more condensed than the paraphrase. And I'm only including what to me is the most important key point of this passage. Now here are a few tips to keep in mind when paraphrasing and summarizing. Number one, read the original quote multiple times until you have a very good understanding of the ideas expressed by the author. Number two, focus on the ideas of the author and not how those ideas are expressed. Number three, sometimes it really helps not to look at the original quote while you're writing your paraphrase or summary. So by doing this, you're directing all your attention on the author's idea, not the way those ideas are being expressed. Number four, use of the source to avoid repeating the same vocabulary. And finally, keep track of all your sources and remember to cite each time you include others' ideas in your writing. So this concludes our tutorial on quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. For more, visit our resources page on academicplagiarism.com. Thank you for watching.